Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Minnesota.
To get a guy like Irvin over here, whose track record is about giving his team a chance to win, about taking the ball every time it's his turn, those are things that we need to do. Obviously, chance to win more games because of the length of the innings he's going to be out there, but also the fact that take a little pressure off that bullpen.
Well, it's about 3 months later than expected, but Irvin Santana at last finally makes his debut today with the Minnesota Twins, as Minnesota looks to take the series and win 3 out of 4 here at Kansas City and cut that division lead to just 2.5 games as we just have finished the first half of the season. Welcome inside Kauffman Stadium. It is a steamy, sultry Sunday afternoon. Temperatures expected in the low 90s today. And Irvin Santana, no stranger to baseball fans. He's been around since the year 2005, made his debut with the Angels. 7 great seasons, highlighted by both a no-hitter and an all-star appearance. Then was traded to these Kansas City Royals, was under 500 with a good ERA here with the Royals, and then moved on to the Atlanta Braves last year. A 14-win season for Irvin Santana. Twins with their biggest ever free agent deal, getting Irvin Santana in the offseason last year, and of course the disappointing 80-game suspension for PEDs, and a very solid 3-0 stint in AAA. Santana looks ready to roll. We caught up with him yesterday to see his excitement level for this debut.
Very exciting, especially the way that our team is being playing right now, so we just have to keep it up, and then I can't wait to pitch.
You got a little taste of what this team can bring to the table in spring training. Young talent, team with a ton of upside, and here you are, halfway through the season, as you mentioned, right in the thick of things. Wild card race, division title up for grabs. How much easier is it for you as a go-to pitcher to feel like this is where you want to be when that's happening?
Oh, it's in the right place, right moment. So, but I'm just very excited for it, and then just like you said, that we got a very good group of guys. They have a lot of speed, and then that's what we need.
Should be fun to watch. Dick Kramer, Burt Blythe, when we come back, break down Santana stuff, the good fastball, the hard slider. It all comes your way.
presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. This afternoon from Kansas City, the end of a 4-game series, the end of a 10-game road trip, and the mathematical beginning of the second half of the season. It is July 5th, and the Twins are today where they thought they would be on April 8th, about to see the 2015 debut of Ervin Santana. And good Sunday afternoon to you from Kansas City. Dick and Bert with you for the final game of this 4-game series and the first game of Ervin Santana's Twins career.
Well, I'm excited to watch this young man pitch. You know, the Twins went out, signed him to a big contract for 4 years. Of course, everybody deserves a second chance, and Santana's getting that in a Twins uniform. A guy that played here a couple years ago. He knows all about the mound here in Kansas City. A guy that also has a lot of confidence in his fastball, but it's his slider that is his strikeout pitch. And no fooling around, averaging less than 3 walks per 9 innings, over 7 strikeouts in 9 innings. So Santana looking to be aggressive. And when you look at Santana, you don't see a big guy. He's about 6 foot, about 175. He's got an outstanding arm. But there are the numbers when he throws that slider almost 37% of the time.
The first half of the season marked by competitiveness for the Minnesota Twins, and now the second half gets underway. About a month ago, the Royals won 3 games in Minnesota. Today, the Twins would like to try to pick up win number 3 in Kansas City.
The last 5 years, a great upgrade. He's got enough velocity. He's got a slider, which is probably his best pitch.
Increase the depth of rotation is a big thing that we've been trying to do.
He is the type of guy that doesn't want to come out of games.
And Irvin Santana, all smiles, happy to be playing the game that he loves to play. He finally will get his season underway here momentarily. We'll see if the Twins can give him some early run support as they hope to take 3 out of 4 from the Royals. Paul Molitor hoping that the team can finish this road trip with the 500 mark and get to within 2.5 games of first place with 1 game left before the All-Star break. The Menards batting order for the Twins. Brian Dozier leading off. Joe Mauer with a good ball game last night. Torrey Hunter third, Trevor Plouffe fourth, Miguel Sano moving up to fifth, then Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Nunez, Kurt Suzuki, and Aaron Hicks.
And the 13th time between these two ball clubs this year. The Royals hold the advantage right now, 7 wins to the Twins 5 wins. And here this afternoon it'll be Danny Duffy. He's making his second start against the Twins. He started against the Twins earlier in the year on Twins opening day on April 13th against Trevor May. Duffy ended up winning that ball game 12-3. The only damage against him in 6 1/3 innings. It was 3 runs allowed, a home run by Trevor Plouffe. Duffy has very good numbers against the Twins. We'll go over that in a second.
First, let's go over the Royals in the field. Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, Gerard Dyson, a change in the outfield. He'll take right field and give Alex Rios a break. Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, Hosmer, the infielders, and also a change behind the plate. Former Twin Drew Butera doing the catching in place of Sal Perez. Quinn Wolcott, 29 years old. I had a chance to meet him the other day. There's Gary Cederstrom. He's well past his 29th birthday. Quinn Wolcott, one of the younger umpires in baseball. I had a chance to meet him, and he's just a very well-spoken young man, and hopefully a good ball strike umpire.
This
today.
is the 3rd year for Wolcott as a major league umpire. Of course, a lot of time in the minor leagues to get to this point.
The heat and humidity pouring into the Twin Cities area, and it has poured into the Kansas City area. 3 unseasonably moderate days here, and now this feels more like Kansas City should feel in July. Upper 80s, humid, and good baseball weather, and we'll see if the Twins can pull out a win here in the series finale.
Danny Duffy making his 3rd start since coming off the disabled list. He had some tendonitis in that left arm.
Brian Dozier with just 1 hit in the series so far. The average down to 259. Pitch foul to the screen.
And this is the 3rd straight start for Duffy that Drew Butera has caught him. So trying to get Duffy more focused into the art of pitching. He's changed his delivery a little bit. He was always a guy that kind of didn't go over his head. Now Dave Island, the pitching coach, trying to get him relaxed and to be a little more stretched out by going over his head. Get a little more rhythm out there to get to your balance point.
Couple of quick strikes to Dozier. Breaking ball wide, 1-2.
Take a look at Duffy's new delivery. He never went over his head before his rehab, and this is what Dave Island wants him to do. Relax a little bit. He's got a good fastball, excellent curveball if he can get it over. There's a good curveball right there, just fouled off.
Royals, of course, for financial reasons, had to let James Shields disappear through free agency, and the thought was, well, time for Danny Duffy to step up. Time for Yordano Ventura to step up. They've both been hurt, and both have had some issues getting on track here this year. 1-2. 2-2.
There's a good fastball right there at 95 miles an hour that brushes Brian Dozier back. Yeah, Duffy against the Twins. This is his 9th career start. He's 4-1 with an ERA at 2.37, so he has had some of his best outings against the Twins.
Hammered foul, and Dozier's having a lengthy battle here to get this game started.
He has only 19 major league wins and 66 major league starts. Career ERA just under 4. Duffy only 26 years old. This is his 5th year with the Royals, but his 2nd season in the rotation on a daily basis.
And a pitch up. Dozier chased it, fouled it back.
And yesterday's ball game against Joe Blanton, the Twins came out swinging bats. 5 hits in that first inning, highlighted by the Joe Mauer 2-run home run after Dozier led off with a base hit. They gave the Twins an early 3-0 lead, and they ended up holding on to that lead and ended up beating the Royals 5-3.
4th 2-strike foul in this at bat. The hope is when the Twins take the field tomorrow night, Brian Dozier will be named to the 2015 All-Star game.
I sure hope so.
Another 2-2. Fly ball center field, harmless enough for Kane. A long battle that lasted 9 pitches. 1 away.
Well, through the art of magic, we can go back to his old delivery. See Duffy on your left, not over his head. And here on the right, this is what Dave Island wants him to do. A little more relaxed, and the same results. Bend your back, get the ball out front.
There aren't many pitchers, you were one, but nowadays there aren't many that bring their hands all the way over their head. Most pitchers now have a more compact delivery.
You know, I think of Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson is more of a sinker baller. You know, in our era it was Rick Ruschel that really didn't go over his head, but way back when, most guys did go back. They rocked back. You know, even Steve Carlton kind of went over his head. Everybody did. But they've tried to condense pitching to where, you know, you throw strikes by almost being a robot by just doing this. I like what they're doing to Duffy right here. It makes you relax a little bit. It just stretches you out, believe it or not, a little bit more.
4 hits yesterday for Mauer and a base hit sharply to left field in his first at bat here today. Significantly, I think, yesterday, he pulled all 4 hits, including the first inning home run.
Yeah, the home run went over the right field fence, and then 2 singles between first and second in the right field, and then in his last at bat, a ball to left or right center. But here, taking a Duffy pitch the other way.
And so Mauer's at first, and that'll bring up Hunter.
And what's nice to see that you know, that average of Joe now at 272, and he just added to that, so he's starting to get hot. Good to see.
To Moustakas, and just like that, the inning ends. The 2015 Twins debut for Ervin Santana when we come back.
Giving his team a chance to win, about taking the ball every time it's his turn. Those are things that we need to do. Obviously, chance to win more games because of the length of the innings he's going to be out there, but also the fact that take a little pressure off that bullpen. And
so in his 2015 debut, that's exactly what the Twins need him to do to take a little pressure off a bullpen that has been overworked and hurt now with Ryan Presley going down yesterday.
Yeah, 6 relievers used in yesterday's ballgame after Mike Pelfrey had a tough time getting through the 5th inning.
Menard's batting order for the Royals, and again a little bit of a different look today. Escobar, Moustakas, and Kane. Hosmer, Morales, Gordon, nothing new there. Infante moving up to 7th because Dyson and Butera are in the lineup. And Irvin Santana delivers up and away ball 1.
Well, he pitched here for a season in 2013, so he knows all about the mound, the dimensions here in Kansas City.
That's to right center field, and Hicks over in the gap, dives and makes the catch. Aaron Hicks with a diving catch in center for the first out.
Well, you need that defense. I don't care what kind of good pitcher you are, and Hicks right there got a pretty good jump on a ball that looked like it was going to be in the gap. And at the last second, he leaped for it. Watch the room Aaron Hicks covers right here, leaps for it, and able to hold on to it and keep it in his glove.
There was some
Right in the
concern.
heel.
Yep. Ned Yost was on the top step of the dugout. They were ready to come out because Hicks's body shielded most people from the side of the ball, and you could see it was loose in the glove, but he managed to hold on for the first out. Here's Moustakas, and there's strike 1. And inside, it is fair to say that a year ago, Moustakas' professional career was at a crossroads. He was in a miserable slump, demoted to Omaha, and was called up only because Danny Valencia got hurt. And he got a little bit better as the season wore along, had a productive postseason, and now is one of the better third basemen in the game. Tap to the right side, right to Dozier. And Dozier, I'm not sure what happened. Dozier looked like he almost tipped over. 2 down.
It's a normal ground ball, and Brian Dozier. Watch this nice little 1-2 hopper. He kind of tripped over his own feet a little bit right there. Whoop. Stepped on his shoe. Okay. I can still get Moustakas out.
2 down, Kane, the batter. Let's hope he shows better moves than that on the dance floor after a Twins win at home. And right into the shift over the mound, Dozier.
Nice first inning.
Better footwork, but a softer throw. And it's a 1-2-3 first for Irvin Santana.
off this inning, and had a chance to talk to him live in our pregame show, and he mentioned that offense is always contagious. Really liked what he saw last night. Of course, he had a single, a double, and a triple. Let's not forget Joe Mauer had 4 hits, and he feels like this lineup's really starting to heat up, and I think without a coincidence, Miguel Sano being in that lineup also changes the complexion of the middle of that order. But the Twins put 5 on the board last night, guys. Their starting pitching has been so good since the middle of June. If they can keep the offense up, they're going to be in this race for a long, long time.
Thank you, Kevin. It sure helps when the big boppers bop. And Mauer with his 4 hits. Plouffe right away rifles a shot to left center field, and that ball will get by Kane to center. Plouffe has a double, and it is a first pitch double here in the second inning.
Trevor Plouffe, a single, double, and a triple in yesterday's ball game. Now his 20th double.
Tell Stroh I learned something.
So Trevor Plouffe swinging a very good bat. Jumped on that first fastball that stayed just over the belt, down the heart of the plate. And Trevor ready to swing the bat. It's a leadoff double, second hit for the Twins.
Twice after taking a 3-0 lead last night, the Twins got leadoff doubles and did not score. And that's why the game was as tense as it was toward the end. We'll see what Sano can get done here. And Plouffe to third base, and Sano drives it to center. And that ball is high off the wall. Plouffe was all the way to third. He'll retreat in 2 pitches into the second inning. The Twins have a pair of doubles.
I think we saw the strength of Sano right there, because Kane, a very good outfielder, and he was playing semi-deep. This looked like a pitch that was down, that Sano looked like he hit it off the end of the bat. But he hit a straightaway center, 410 feet. That breaking ball down in the zone, and Sano hitting it over the head of Kane as Plouffe takes off. He's thinking about going back, but once that ball's over Kane's head, he scores. And Sano picks up his second RBI on his second major league double.
Sano hit 3 balls hard last night, and he hit that one hard. And good start for the Twins here in the second inning. Now Eddie Rosario. Statistically, baseball's a risky game to try to predict what is going to happen from one year to the next. Last year, Danny Duffy held left-handers to an incredible 137 opponent batting average. And now this year, they're hitting 306 against him.
Yeah, he's given up a lot of hits.
And Rosario.
And keep an eye on Butera. He likes to show off that great arm he has. And Sano getting back.
Asked Paul Molitor today about the increased bunting attitude for the Twins, and he says they need to work on execution. He's happy to see that in this era of low-scoring games, players trying to drop down a bunt to advance runners, getting a run 90 feet closer. And Rosario with a 3-pitch at bat is the first out.
And Duffy picks up his first strikeout.
Again, the Twins did not do a good job last night after the first inning, taking advantage of leadoff doubles. Now a pair of doubles here in the second. 1 run is in, but Sano, we're going to be hopeful that he'd be at third base after the first out, and he's not. Here's Nunez.
Nunez getting a chance to play, 2 for 8 in his career against Danny Duffy.
Up and in.
Talked about Duffy's windup too. Also in the stretch, a little different. He used to bring his hands down by his belt in the stretch position. Now he just kind of sets his hands up by his chest area. They're trying to do is get that. He's got a kind of a slow arm, believe it or not. They're trying to speed up that arm a little bit. See where he stops right there rather than bring it down in the belt.
Very high, 2-0.
And Butera is going to go out and try to get him back down in the strike zone. He said that when his glove was down by the belt, he'd really take a little extra time to get that arm behind him. And here he can get his arm up quicker and hopefully get the follow through where he's down in the zone. The last 2 pitches have been up. So now he has to make the adjustment.
So far this year, Nunez has hit right-handers a lot better than left-handers, hoping to get a big hit here against the lefty Duffy. Sharply hit. Oh, Moustakas is able to knock it down and make the play. Wow. That was a wicked first hop, and Moustakas was able to make the play 2 down.
That definitely a Gold Glove type play right there. My goodness, Nunez hitting this ball as hard as he can. Duffy takes that one hopper, and the ball ended up behind him. Watch how quick it gets to him, that one hop, and able to barehand it as it fell behind him and get the out at first. Great play by Moustakas.
Well hit balls here early against Danny Duffy. And now the Twins will need a 2-out hit from Suzuki to get the second run in. Up and in, ball 1.
One thing Dave Island's also trying to do to Duffy is to get him to take a deep breath once in a while. A guy that just wants to overpower everybody. Mix in the changeup, mix in the curveball more.
And a strike.
Duffy, only 26 years old, signed by the Royals in 2007.
And another fastball and a strike. 1 and 2.
I think what they saw in Duffy last year, Dick, is not a guy that was 9 and 12, but a 2.53 ERA. At times he didn't get a lot of run support. 150 innings pitched last year, 113 strikeouts, 53 walks. So that's a lot of walks in 150 innings.
Soft ground ball to Escobar. He sets and fires. The Twins open the second inning with a pair of doubles. Miguel Sano's double, 410 feet from home plate, has scored Trevor Plouffe for the first run of the game. Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light, the AL ERA leader since the middle of June, and for years you've been talking about it's all about pitching. Look at this. Chicago's got the worst record in the American League Central, yet they're on that chart.
They can't hit.
Seattle and Oakland, the bottom 2 teams in the American.
Can't hit.
So it might be pitching, but you do need to score some points along the way too.
You do. Twins have done a great job as far as the starting staff.
Eric Hosmer taking strike 1 from Irvin Santana. Hosmer, Morales, and Gordon in the Kansas City second. Inside. Mentioned Santana had a good year here with Kansas City a few years ago, to the point where they were in the market for Santana. They were bidding against the Twins to bring him back to Kansas City. Whether it was extra dollars, just a vibe, whatever, Santana decided to come to Minnesota instead. You can see a 3.22 ERA over the last 3 weeks. And the shame of it all is the Twins don't have more wins in that time.
Yeah, everybody doing a good job. Mike Pelfrey has struggled a little bit over his last 3 out of his 5 starts, but all in all, staff has done a great job.
Jam shot. Dozier with the catch, 1 away. That'll bring up Morales. Check out the Twins in the field. Eddie Rosario's handled things very well in left field. He's already made a good catch out there today. Hunter in right. Kloof and Nunez the left side of the infield. Dozier and Mauer on the right side. And Suzuki got the day off yesterday. And that guarantees he'll be in the lineup today. Can't remember in his tenure with the Twins that Suzuki's ever had 2 games off in a row. Here is Kendrys Morales.
Yeah, these 2 guys were teammates in Anaheim.
Strike 1.
Santana originally signed by the Angels, came up with the Angels in 2005 to 2012, 8 seasons, and Morales, who also signed with the Angels, was up with them for 2006 through 2012. So they spent a lot of time together, got to know each other. Morales against Santana in their meetings. Changeup right there away is 2 for 5.
You mentioned the changeup. Twins with a lot of newness in spring training, bringing in Santana, new manager, new pitching coach. And Neil Allen preaches the changeup as a valuable pitch to throw frequently. High fly center field, and Hicks over in the gap with the catch. 2 down. And you know, to do that, and Neil Allen coming from outside the organization, he never worked with Trevor May, never worked with Alex Meyer, Kyle Gibson, any of these guys, and so he wanted to get some disciples in his philosophy of using the changeup, and he found one in Santana, who really improved his changeup the 1 year he was here in Kansas City. And the fact that Santana missed the first half of the year, Neil Allen would tell you, really kind of hurt the whole staff, because they followed Santana's lead in adopting the changeup almost as a primary pitch. And Mauer with the pickup to the bag, and another quick 1-2-3 second inning for Irvin Santana. Four with Detroit, and the Tigers will be without their best player, Miguel Cabrera, is going to miss, they say, in the neighborhood of 6 weeks with a left calf strain.
Yeah, you can see the first time he has spent time on a disabled list in his 13-year career. And remember, the last couple of years, he's had injuries, ankle injuries, things like that. But he played through it, but not this time.
Remember back in April and May, the Tigers really struggled when they lost Victor Martinez. And this guy unquestionably is more valuable to the Tiger lineup. And it's not just the numbers Cabrera puts up, but you know, what will his absence mean to somebody like J.D. Martinez and some of the other hitters in the middle of that lineup? Ball one to Aaron Hicks. And in its own way, the loss of a key player like that changes the complexion of the division race. Check swing and a strike, 1-1. Kansas City's led the division most of the way. The Twins have been right there. Detroit, they just kind of bob to the surface and then go back down to the 500 mark. And anybody's guess how they'll react to that terrible news. Fouled away 1-2. And now today, Justin Verlander's given up 6 runs. He still doesn't have a win this year. Hicks, Dozier, and Mauer trying to get something started here against Duffy. Have hit some balls very hard against him. And Hicks fouls it to the screen.
You mentioned left-handers hitting Duffy well, right-handers also. The opponent's hitting 302 off of Duffy this year. Left-handers 306, right-handers 300.
Deep to left field. Aaron Hicks sends one out, a home run on a 1-2 pitch, his second of the year.
His first RBI and first home run as a right-handed hitter. Looked like a breaking ball that just hung right there, and the Twins take a 2-0 lead. Yeah, that breaking ball fell right into the swing of Aaron Hicks, opening up quickly and hitting it into the bullpen area of the Royals.
I think he cleared the bullpen area. Didn't he get it up into the seats? A long ways. Here's Dozier, and he takes high, 408 feet. And Hicks has picked up a few runs batted in this series with some outs, a fly ball and a ground ball, each producing a run, and now a long home run. 2-0.
And Butera back out to talk to his left-hander. Quick trip to the mound by Drew Butera. I had a chance to talk to Drew the first day we came in on Thursday, and he said he has been able to catch Duffy, and he does have a lot of, he's just trying to teach him how to pitch, to try to relax a little bit out there. He said he's a young man that can throw 3 shutout innings and all of a sudden lose it.
I've seen guys like that before.
Helps when you have veteran catcher like Butera trying to help you out, get you back down in that strike zone.
Guy now pitching out of the Kansas City bullpen, Luke Hochevar, was that way. And I still remember the best game I've ever seen Hochevar pitch. Jason Kendall, who's an auxiliary coach here, I guess, with the Royals. Another strike, or a strike 3-1. And Kendall just absolutely took possession of Hochevar in a game. And if he didn't go the distance, 8 brilliant innings against the Twins. And Dozier will take a walk.
It's funny that you should mention, we're going to go to Joe Mauer here about Jason Kendall. I got a Jason Kendall story about Kurt Suzuki. Joe Mauer recently has been swinging a hot bat over his last 12 games, hitting at almost 400. Hit a big 2-run home run in yesterday's ball game. The Twins give the Twins an early 2-0 lead.
Joe said in response to his 4-hit game last night, or a question about the 4-hit game, he's been feeling good for the last couple of weeks, and those numbers support that. Sharp single to left center, his first time up against Duffy.
Yeah, Jason Kendall out early only on home games to help out with hitting bungos and talking to the catchers and stuff. And I was talking to him, and he mentioned Kurt Suzuki. He said, when I was with Oakland, he said Kurt Suzuki just came up, and he said of all the catchers that he's ever been around, he admires Kurt Suzuki's work habits the best. He said he just picked my brain like it never been picked before. We watched video together, and he's very, very excited that Kurt Suzuki's had a nice career.
1 strike to Mauer, and now a ball.
Kurt gives Jason Kendall a lot of credit.
I was just going to say, what I remember about Jason Kendall, he was tough as nails as a catcher, and I think we see that trait with Kurt as well. 1-1. Fouled back.
See, everything is hard right now out of Duffy's hand. Hard fastball, hard breaking ball, not too much off-speed stuff. Trying to overpower everybody.
One and 2 to Mauer. Could be another double play grounder. Safe at first. The Royals may challenge. Mauer hustling down the line. A ground ball hit right at Moustakas. And Dozier forced at second. Dozier's deck is back for this year, August 29th. A special offer includes a Skyline deck ticket and a Dozier Blaze Orange and Camo jersey t-shirt. Portion of the proceeds from every ticket will benefit Pheasants Forever. Call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com/Dozier's deck. Get your tickets today. Pitcher on the rubber, batter in the box, and here we go. One thing that Paul Molitor said about Duffy, he's got about as good a pickoff move as any left-hander in the league. So that kept not only Dozier from stealing second, but kept him a little closer to the first base bag maybe than he would otherwise be. And so similarly, we wouldn't expect Mauer to get too big of a lead here. A good pickoff move not only can stifle a stolen base attempt, but keep a runner from going from first to third or scoring on a double.
Yeah, we see it when Tommy Malone's out on the mound. He too has a very good pickoff move. And Duffy, over his young career, only 67 major league starts here today, he has 15 pickoffs.
Here's Hunter, hit into a double play his first time up, and he drills one foul. A lot of solid contact against Duffy in the early innings.
Say, watch out, Gene Glenn.
He got the job done last night. He's seen the batting average come down here in Kansas City, but when the Twins needed a sacrifice fly, he delivered a sacrifice fly. Chopper to short. And Hunter's hit into 2 double plays, but the Twins got a leadoff home run from Aaron Hicks to double the lead. your link to what's next by NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. 2-0 Twins. 2 perfect innings for Ervin Santana. And we head to the bottom of the bottom third of the Kansas City lineup. Infante, Dyson, and Butera.
Yeah, 6 quick outs, 16 pitches, 6 outs for Santana. You know, you were talking about Santana, about Neil Allen's philosophy of the changeup, and Santana took that with him to spring training. But credit Neil Allen, when he got the job under Paul Molitor, he called all the pitching staff, everybody on the roster that he thought was going to be making the ball club, and he talked to all of them about his philosophy on pitching. So they had an idea going into spring training. This is what I would like for everybody to really concentrate on spring training. Build up your arm strength with your fastball, but let's learn to add and subtract. And how do you do that? With a breaking ball or a changeup. And you know, Neil Allen is that's his philosophy, and you need guys to go along with that, and Santana is one of those guys that did. And I think the whole staff has.
4-pitch walk to start the third inning. Infante drawing just his 4th walk of the year. He's got 262 at bats. And now Gerard Dyson getting a starting assignment in place of Alex Rios. There's a bunt. And a low throw. Mauer digs it out. Second time Joe's had to fish a throw out of the dirt. Dyson will get credit for a sacrifice. And Infante going to second.
Well, he's trying to take that bunt with them, but he hits it too hard back to the pitcher, and Santana working on that changeup, I guess. He threw it to Joe Mauer.
It's so hard to read intent, but I don't think Dyson was intending to sacrifice Infante to second in front of Drew Butera.
No, I think he was trying to take that ball with him.
Nevertheless, he'll get credit for a sacrifice, and now Butera picked up by the Royals from the Angels. Butera traded from the Twins to the Dodgers, so he's back in the Midwest.
Well, I think we all know what Drew brings to the ballpark. Great receiver, not much offense, a lot like his pops was, Sal Butera. And Sal's here in the house, scouting for the Toronto Blue Jays.
1 strike. 2 strikes.
Drew wore a Twins uniform from 2010 to 2013, 4 seasons, a career 182 hitter.
There's the backup catcher for the world champion 1987 Minnesota Twins.
Sell.
2 quick strikes to Butera. Up the middle and a base hit. On an 0-2 pitch, Infante's coming home, and the Royals are on the board. Well, the number 9 hitter behind in the count 0-2 makes it a 2-1 ball game.
Well, he swung at all 3 pitches. One thing that he also told me that, you know, I was taking pitches. I'm up there swinging now. I get to play maybe once every other week. And that little slider just kind of spun right there. And Drew taking it right back up the middle, picking up his 2nd RBI.
And that'll bring up Alcides Escobar. So 6 up, 6 down. And Santana walks Infante, which frankly is hard to do. And then Butera, hitting just 182 with 1 run batted in all year, gets a 1-out single on an 0-2 pitch.
That leadoff walk. They always seem to come back and haunt you.
And now a breaking ball left up high.
Yeah, a lot of people wondering, what did Santana do, you know, during the 80-game suspension? Did he just sit at home and waiting for today? No. You know, he lives down in South Florida, and he spent a lot of time in the extended spring program for the Twins.
There goes Butera, and the pitch driven, just foul. Would have tied the game with the Twins, or the Royals rather, sending Drew Butera, and Escobar asked to deliver on the hit and run, and he nearly hit it down the right field line.
First base umpire Gary Cederstrom right there watching where that ball goes over the bag. And he says it went foul.
That ball was by Mauer before he blinked.
Oh, and then under that program too, for the suspension program, you have about a 16-day window to get ready as far as games that count. So he spent that time in Rochester.
And the Twins get a double play to wrap up the Royals' third, but they get one on the board thanks to a leadoff walk and an RBI single by Drew Butera. Fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Trevor Plouffe, Miguel Sano, Eddie Rosario will hit for the Twins here in the fourth. Plouffe and Sano jumped on Duffy's first pitch back in the second inning for a pair of doubles. Plouffe drove one to the gap in left center field. Sano hit one off the center field fence.
Yeah, Duffy, this will be pitch number 43.
Inside, ball one.
A walk and a strikeout so far for Danny Duffy. Giving up 4 hits.
Now inside again, 2-0. To accommodate Santana's activation, the Twins move Trevor May to the bullpen. Another one hit to left center field, and Gordon will make a diving attempt, and I don't think he caught it, did he? Yes, he did. He looked behind him like the ball might be lying in the grass, but he made the catch.
Well, the Gold Glove winner out there makes another fantastic catch. It does. It looks like an extra base hit, maybe for Trevor Plouffe, but Gordon dives as Aaron Hicks did earlier in the ball game, leaving his feet and able to hold on to that ball. Nice catch by Alex Gordon, the 4-time Gold Glove winner.
Very similar to the catch that Hicks made earlier in the ball game. Here's Sano. Sano got a breaking ball low out of the strike zone, and he drove it on a line off the center field fence over the head of Kane. The last 4 at-bats, Sano has just clobbered the ball hard all 4 times. He has 2 hits to show for it. He lined into a double play and grounded into another double play last night on a hard ground ball hit right at Escobar. Strike called, 2-1. foul. I asked Paul Molitor the other day before Sano made his major league debut what he knew of Sano and whether he thought he'd be able to make the transition easily up here, and he said yeah, he really thought he would be able to. A physique and a maturity beyond his age. He's only 22 years old. 2 hops to Moustakas. 2 down.
I think what impresses me the most, not only the power, we saw it in the double that he hit the straightaway center, it's also his speed. For a big man, even that ground ball right there, he hustled down out of that line, and for a guy that's 260, boy, he motors pretty good. This is a nice hard hit ball to Moustakas, but you can see moves very, very well for a big man.
2 down, and now Rosario. Rosario had a big at bat, a costly at bat for the Twins in the second. Wolf and Sano had each doubled to start the inning, and then Rosario struck out on 3 pitches, and Sano was not only left at second after the Rosario at bat, he never moved from second base for the rest of the inning.
You got to remember, Rosario has never faced Danny Duffy, so you know this is the first time around too. What does he feature? He just he swung and struck out on a high breaking ball.
2-0.
The only strikeout that Duffy has was against Rosario in the second inning.
3-0. Nunez on deck.
See if he takes a pitch here or if it's a pitch to his liking.
3-1.
Well, you got Sano, who's 22 years old. Rosario, only 23. Getting their feet wet here at the major league level.
And Rosario will take a walk with 2 outs. And
Second
bring
walk
up
for
Nunez.
Duffy. Yep.
Wednesday, the Timberwolves are opening the doors to Target Center for the Wolves Summer Showcase. Watch #1 overall pick Karl Anthony Towns and Minnesota's own Tyus Jones take the floor for the first time to scrimmage with Rookie of the Year Andrew Wiggins. Doors open at 6:30. Visit FoxSportsNorth.com for more details. And then, of course, Byron Buxton, I'm assuming, is back in the Twin Cities watching today. And he's a young guy. He's 21 years old, and he's spent way too much time watching baseball. And there's nothing Byron wants to do more than to start playing baseball. He had to watch too much baseball last year, and he's had to watch too much baseball again this year.
Oh, we wish him well if he is, and recover quickly.
1 strike to Nunez. In a sense, the success the Twins have had this year is a bit of a marvel in that nobody is, going to garner any Cy Young votes based on how they have started. The starting pitchers, and no position players are going to get MVP votes. 1-1.
It's been a good team effort.
And there is Rosario picked off. Tag made at second, and Infante gets bowled over with Rosario's slide. Another pickoff for Duffy, and the Twins go down in the 4th. Still lead it 2-1. 15 FIFA Women's World Cup Finals here. It's coming up shortly. Rematch 4 years in the making. Alex Morgan, Team USA, taking on defending champion Japan to see who will be crowned a champion. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. Central, only on your local Fox station, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. We won't be able to watch it. Doesn't mean we're not behind the women's soccer team.
We are supporting it. Go USA.
Mike Moustakas takes a strike from Ervin Santana, who issued a leadoff walk in the third and paid the price.
Hey, 11 batters faced now for Ervin Santana. 8 first pitch strikes.
And now up 1-1.
That changeup up right there. Santana making his 297th major league start. His 300th game. 3 relief appearances came when he was with the Angels. 119 wins, 100 losses.
2-1.
A guy that's pitched almost 1,900 innings, over 1,500 strikeouts. 14 complete games in his career, 7 shutouts.
Fouled away 2-2. Most of you, I suspect, know the story. Santana signed as a big-time free agent in the offseason, a 4-year deal. Had a good spring training. Most would tell you he was the Twins' best starting pitcher in spring training, ready to not be the opening day starter, but the second game after Phil Hughes had the opening day assignment. Swing and a miss. Moustakas strikes out, 1 away.
Good slider down and in, and Santana picks up his first strikeout in a Twins uniform. We talked about the slider in the open. You can see going underneath the swing of Moustakas.
Now Kane will hit.
Yes, Santana, as I was finishing my story before the double play last time, he went down to Rochester, 3 starts, 3 very good starts. 3-0 ERA at 1.74. So through the extended spring program, by continuing to work out and keep his arm as strong as it can be before he can actually, he can face some hitters down in the extended spring, but there's nothing better than game situation. He had 3 of those in Rochester and pitched very well.
Activated yesterday so he could deal with the media and get acclimated to the clubhouse and his teammates again and get ready to pitch here today. And a foul tip. The news of the suspension startled everybody in baseball and came just 5 days before he was supposed to make his regular season debut, 3 days before the season itself started. The Twins went to Detroit and they were kind of on their heels a little bit and
kind of in shock.
Played that way. They don't want to use that as an excuse, but I think the entire organization was stunned by the news and the lateness of the news. 2-2 to Lorenzo Cain. And another breaking pitch gets another swing and a miss.
And 2 straight strikeouts. Santana last year for the Braves struck out 179 batters in 196 innings pitched. It's almost like a little cutter right there. Not the big slider.
Down, that'll bring up Hosmer.
That's almost the same pitch that he left up to Butera. But it had too much of the plate that Butera hit back up the middle for the RBI single.
Inside.
That's more the slider right there. Bigger break.
The Twins hope, and I'll bet you even Santana hopes, that he's not done paying the price for the positive test. If the Twins make postseason play, he will not be eligible to participate. Hit on the ground. Mauer has it. Santana will watch the first baseman make the play. 3 of the 4 innings this afternoon for Ervin Santana have been 1-2-3 innings.
His second home run of the season earlier. Has an RBI in all 3 games, as Dick mentioned. The conversation with him about wanting to be more consistent. He said, no doubt about it, I want to be a better hitter. I felt good the last couple of games before I got called up. I want to build off of that. And he said, the other thing I'm trying to do is, the manager called me into his office. I'm here to play defense. I want to be more consistent out there. Not just the spectacular plays, guys, but the everyday plays. And he's got such skill in that big center field position. Paul Molitor's counting on it. Aaron Hicks really working to be more of a consistent player on both sides, guys.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little longer. We're talking about Moustakas, how long it took him, how many at-bats it finally clicked, and now he's hitting over 300.
Just barely retired. Nunez got that bunt down a little too close to the mound.
If that ball is a little closer to the third baseline, Nunez and his speed beats it out. And surprisingly, he lost his helmet. Butch Davis giving it to him. Duffy jumping off that mound. And Duffy, good strong throw. That's what he needed to do to get the speedy Nunez.
Might have heard Butch Davis exhorting Nunez, go hard, go hard, go hard. 1 down on 1 pitch. Here's Suzuki. Yeah, I think we talked about it the other night in the case of Moustakas, who's right now, you know, he's top shelf, an American League third baseman. He maybe won't start on the All-Star game or for the All-Star team a week from Tuesday, but it took him about 2,000 at-bats before things clicked, and he went from being a suspect to beyond prospect status to now somebody the Royals can count on. 2 strikes to Suzuki.
And again, they're both #1 picks. Hick for the Twins, Moustakas for the Royals. So they expect them, that talent that they saw when they drafted them #1, to hopefully come out. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
For Detroit today, J.D. Martinez hit his 23rd home run of the year. Imagine if the Astros had not given up on J.D. Martinez, and if he was hitting in that lineup. And that's basically what happened. They got tired of Martinez not progressing, and the Tigers picked him up, and now he may be the most important bat in their lineup in the absence of Cabrera.
He had some injuries to his defense. He had some injuries with Houston that he didn't get a lot of playing time.
2 down, and that'll bring up Hicks.
He's making up for it in Detroit.
And it had to be tough for Aaron, too, to go on the disabled list, because he hadn't played up here with the major league club since that costly error in that Saturday night game in Texas. And so now he's played well in the field, driven in some runs, including a home run in his first at bat today. Up it away, ball 1.
Yeah, some guys take baby steps to get better. Some guys take giant steps to establish themselves.
Fouled away. His hitting coach, Tom Bernansky, knows all about that, and I've told this story before. When I first got involved with the Twins in the early 80s, Gary Gaetti and Tom Bernansky looked like things would not click for them at all. I mean, you'd get 2 strikes on them. Strike 3 was right afterward. Breaking ball down and away, and they would go after it. And then at some point, something clicks. Strike called 1 and 2. And I think, to their benefit, back then there weren't any options. You know, Billy Gardner, Rand Gaetti, and Bernansky, and all those guys out there just said, go play. Lose 100 games, so be it. And Hicks makes solid contact on the 1-2 pitch. Duffy now has sent down 7 men, gotten 7 outs from the last 7 batters. And Kendrys Morales takes another first pitch strike from Ervin Santana. Santana's had 3 1-2-3 innings. The exception to the pattern was the third inning when he issued a 4-pitch walk to Omar Infante. And then Infante scored on a 1-out single by Drew Butera. Royals struggling to score runs, but you don't expect that daily double to combine for the only run that they've scored, at least not in the manner in which they scored it. 1-1 and strike 2.
Only 42 pitches used by Santana here, looking for the first out in the 5th inning. 25 strikes, couple strikeouts, a walk,
swing and a miss,
and make that 3 strikeouts.
Morales strikes out, 1 down. And that'll bring up Alex Gordon.
Well, another good breaking ball, almost the same one he threw to Moustakas that struck him out last inning. Such a tough pitch for a left-hander to lay off of, because it looks, lefties like it down and in that they can pull and jerk out of the ballpark. And you get underneath that a little bit like Santana did, they'll swing through it.
Ball 1 to Alex Gordon. And now inside 2-0. Gordon hit a ground ball to Mauer his first time up.
Yeah, Gordon's been struggling at the plate, just 3 hits in his last 29 at bats over his last 9 games.
2-1.
Flip the outside part of the plate.
High fly deep down the right field line. Mauer, or a Hunter rather, in the corner. And it's gone, a home run. And the game is tied. Alex Gordon with a fly ball down the right field line, just barely over the wall.
Yeah, 330 down that right field line. That ball was up there for a long time. And Gordon with his 10th home run of the year. And Gordon right here hoping it would stay fair. Torrey going back. And just in the first row over that railing. So it's a 2-2 ball game.
A good breeze blowing from the right field pole to the left field pole, and you're right, that ball may have been foul had it not been hit so high and maybe wind blown back into fair territory. Now Hunter has this one measured, and there's out number 2. So each team with a solo home run, and we are tied at 2 apiece. A lot of Twins fans here. I was out among them last night. Great night here. Very comfortable ballpark. A near sellout crowd. Two down, and Gerard Dyson will bat. Dyson tried to reach with a bunt single, and he was given credit for a sacrifice, which paid off for the Royals because Butera followed with an RBI single. When I got to the ballpark today and saw Dyson in the starting lineup from a Twins perspective, I was almost relieved. I'm not so sure he isn't more valuable on their bench than he is in their starting lineup. They've got a couple of pinch running candidates in their regular lineup, Morales principal among them, and he's a weapon from the 7th inning on. Can be inserted because of his speed anywhere in the lineup at any time.
Well, Alex Rios has been struggling a little bit out in right field, so Dyson getting some at bats here.
2-1, and now 2-2. A close ball game, and it seems like that's what we've had with the Royals, certainly in this series. Late in the game, Royals tied behind by a run. If Morales gets on, it's an automatic. You insert Dyson into pinch run. The pop up behind second. Nunez has it. Measured.
Well, now they have Dusty Coleman to pinch run. You bring your Circle Me signs, you might find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery winner's circle. And I'm sorry my telly is not working, but you are hereby circled where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
Kind of the same thing like around my birthday when I don't get a gift from you. It's the thought that counts.
I believe I sent you a gift this year.
You did, but I was just trying to make a point. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
You can't circle them, but it's the thought that counts.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice signs here, and wish we could circle everybody, even in Minnesota, but everybody's here by circle.
Brian Dozier will lead off the
And
sixth.
basically, thank you for being Twin fans.
Dozier drew a walk his last time up, just one hit in the series, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Twins took the lead in the second.
Yeah, that one hit came in the first pitch off of Joe Blanton yesterday, and then he scored on Joe Mauer's two-run home run.
Hopped up in the air. Very high in the air. Butera giving way to Hosmer. One down. And Dozier's struggles continue here in Kansas City. That'll bring up Mauer, who is not struggling in Kansas City since 1961. Which Minnesota Twin has the most 4-hit games? Well, there's one clear-cut answer. I'd be stunned if it wasn't him. Denny Hocking.
I was thinking more Nick Punto.
Mauer with a single his first time up, reaching a fielder's choice in the third. Twins have two left-handed batters in their lineup, Mauer and Rosario. And Mauer with another base hit, solidly stroked in front of Alex Gordon.
Tell you what, he is in a good groove right now, Joe Mauer.
Slug your way to the Home Run Derby crown and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Action-packed, insanely fun. Great American Ballpark, home of the 2015 All-Star Game with 2015 Home Run Derby participants. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby on the App Store and Google Play. Torrey Hunter's bounced into 2 double plays.
You know, for some reason, he has had not a lot of success against Danny Duffy. He is 0 for 11 now against Duffy.
Fouled away. Torrey had only bounced into 5 double plays all year, and Duffy got him in the first and again in the third. Twins out hitting the Royals 5-2. Outside, 1-1. Twins with a chance to make the season series record 6-7 against Kansas City, but more importantly, a chance to get to within 2.5 games of first place. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
A changeup right there, and Torrey swinging through it.
One and two to the Twins right fielder. Toward the hole. And they get a force play at second. A fine play by Alcides Escobar.
Yeah, definitely would have been a base hit for Torrey Hunter. Instead, Escobar gets the force out at second base. The only play he had, Mauer hustling down that line, but Escobar makes a great play in the hole. And Infante, the second baseman, like a first baseman, keeping his foot on the bag. And Duffy says, thank you very much. Nice play by the shortstop, Escobar.
Well, the Twins will need a 2-out hit from Plouffe. He's hit the ball to the left center field gap twice, once for a double. Oh, Hunter nearly picked off. That was a quick step off and flip, and Torrey nearly got picked off first when I don't think he was going anywhere. Duffy's already picked off Eddie Rosario with 2 outs in the fourth. At the knees, a strike. It's apparent that Paul Molitor, like most managers, trying to run the bases more aggressively as the offense continues to struggle to score runs. If you're kicking a dozen hits every night and 3 or 4 extra base hits, couple of home runs, well, then you don't try to run as many risks as the Twins have on the bases.
Well, kind of what happened in the month of May.
In terms of the hits and all right. And the 2-out hits. Well, now the Twins struggling to even advance a runner from second to third with nobody out. It's happened far too often lately.
You know, one thing the Royals depend, they depend on good pitching and good defense. And their defense right there. Now, if you got a left-hander like Duffy, has got a great move. Even Joe Mauer couldn't get the best of lead, maybe to slide into second safely, because, you know, it takes him a little while. You're not going to run on Duffy. So maybe a step or two. Joe might have been safe at second.
That's to center. And Kane steps in to make the catch. Twins are done in the 6th, and we've got a tie game. presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Have bold for breakfast with the new chorizo burrito from McDonald's. Irvin Santana pitching to Drew Butera. First pitch tapped foul, 1 strike. Butera drove in the first Kansas City run with an 0-2 single up the middle and scored the runner Omar Infante from second base.
Yeah, Drew started the season with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, traded over on May 7th for minor league shortstop Ryan Jackson.
Here's a pop-up that might be playable for Suzuki. And again, with that wind blowing from the right field side to the left field side, that might have kept that ball in play. The guys excelling in the field have excelled at the plate.
Yeah, great catch by Aaron Hicks in the first inning, and then he hits his second home run. And for Alex Gordon, a great catch off the bat of Trevor Plouffe, and then Alex Gordon hitting a home run.
One down in the 6th, and now Escobar. And a bunt foul. You hesitate calling this a bunting exhibition in this 4-game series because I'm not sure that either team has bunted particularly well, but they sure have tried a lot.
Well, they're two clubs that do not hit a lot of home runs. The Royals have hit the fewest home runs in the American League, and Twins are third fewest.
So
you have to do the little things to create runs.
Paul Molitor the other day bemoaning the fact that it's nice to try, but we really need to work on it. We need to execute our bunts better. Swing and a miss, and Escobar's gone quickly 2 away.
And strikeout number 4 for Santana.
We'll bring up Moustakas. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Now we've got a change here with Mike Moustakas being pinch hit for by Coleman. Something's up with Moustakas. He went 0 for 2, and he is pinch hit for here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Dusty Coleman, this will be his first major league at bat, just getting called up from AAA.
Coleman entered the game as a pinch runner and had a base running misadventure between third and home here on Friday night, and now he gets a chance to hit for Mike Moustakas. Breaking ball over, 1-1.
Yeah, Coleman, 28 years old, from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Met him here the other day. Went to college out of Wichita State. Originally signed by the Oakland A's in his first season with the Royals organization.
Fouled back. And if you know Coleman, if you know his family, if you're from Sioux Falls, basically, if you're not a Twins fan, you were greatly relieved that the Royals won the Friday night's game, because Coleman's mistake did not cost the Royals a ball game. 1-2. And he's gone on 4 pitches, and Irvin Santana has another 1-2-3 inning, and Miguel Sano will lead off the 7th in a tie game. Scoring game between the top two teams in the division.
Yeah, Twins took an early 1-0 lead. At RBI double by Sano. Yeah, Fluke had started the inning off with a double, and then Aaron Hicks with his second home run made it a 2-0 lead. But then the Royals in the bottom of the third, little execution, a leadoff walk, bunted over, Drew Butera base hit up the middle, and then Alex Gordon in the fifth inning, hitting his 10th home run. That's all knotted up at 2 apiece.
And Miguel Sano, who drove in the first run, will lead off the 7th. He'll be followed by Rosario and Nunez. Dusty Coleman is in at third base for Moustakas. As soon as we find out why Moustakas left the game, we will share that info with you. Strike on the outside corner.
Remember that ball that Nunez hit very sharply? I wonder if that just got maybe his wrist or wrist area, because it kind of, I don't know where it hit, but it just died right behind him. He ended up getting the ball and throwing it out. I just wonder if it hit his left wrist area.
No, that's the only thing I could think of. He hasn't been on base. He did strike out in the 4th inning after making that play on Nunez. 2-1 with Duffy trying to keep the ball away from the powerful Miguel Sano. And then he pulled the string. 2-2.
Good changeup right there by Duffy.
Two and two. Full count.
Duffy with a couple walks, 1 strikeout. He's given up only 5 hits.
Sano is yet to draw a walk.
He's not here to walk.
But
yeah, he does there.
Leadoff walk here in the 7th. All across baseball, we've seen it. The Twins may be the most active teams in promoting prospects, in many cases bypassing AAA altogether, getting your best talented players, most talented players up from AA and letting them play up here.
Yeah, you know, a lot of them having success. I said, you know, when we talked about Aaron Hicks, sometimes it takes baby steps. Well, a guy like Bryant and Correa with the Cubs and the Astros, they've taken giant steps already. Big part of their offense and defense.
Here is Rosario with Coleman in on the edge of the grass at third base. Rosario with a nice soft bunt. And Duffy lobs it and just barely got him at first.
Yeah, never really got a grip on that baseball and almost threw a changeup to Hosmer.
Twins would love to be able to challenge this. It's a very close play. At the very least, Rosario will get a sacrifice. Paul Molitor looking to his left, to Joe Vavra in communication with Sean Harlan.
Well, he feels it, and then you can see he never really got a good grip on it. And Rosario hustling down that line.
Twins aren't sending anybody to the batter's box. It's Nunez who's still in the on-deck circle. And I think they're going to...
Rosario's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back. And here comes Ned Yost to make a pitching change. Very close play. And again, you have to have enough evidence to overturn the call made on the field.
Hosmer reaching out for it.
Yep. So a sacrifice, advancing Sano into scoring position. And now the Twins will get into the Kansas City bullpen looking for the go-ahead hit. your summer at Target Field and become a Twins season ticket holder. Try out the new Pick 10 plan. You pick 10 games left on the schedule this year and save off the box office price. Enjoy sweet spot benefits exclusive to Twins season ticket holders, including 10% off game day food and merchandise at Target Field. Visit twinsbaseball.com/pick10 or call 612-33-TWINS.
Ryan Madson coming out of the bullpen, the first one out of a very good bullpen, combined 2.05 earned run average. Madson, very good numbers, only 18 hits allowed in 32 innings, 9 walks, 1 intentional, 31 strikeouts.
Nunez checked his swing, or did he? Ball 1.
Yeah, Twins are trying to do what the Royals did in the 3rd inning when the leadoff walk to Infante, then Dyson bunted him over. Butera drove him in. Let's see if Nunez can drive in Sano after the sacrifice bunt by Rosario.
Another check swing. Did he go? No, again, 2-0. Not because of the count, but I like this matchup because we've seen Madson with a good, firm fastball, but Nunez might be the best fastball hitter on the team.
Madson calling out Butera.
To throw it over, of course. Nunez ready to go. He's checked his swing successfully twice.
Yeah, Madson in his first season with the Royals, his first season back in the major league since 2011. He had Tommy John surgery that when he thought about retiring, came back, signed a minor league contract with the Royals in spring training, made it out of spring training. Very good bullpen.
Popped him up. Got a fastball into short left center field. Gordon with the catch, out number 2. Bring up Suzuki. On a 2-0 pitch, Nunez looking for a fastball, but got under it. We'll see if Suzuki can provide the elusive 2-out hit. One hit in the series. Center, and Kane drifts back, still going back. And that ends it. The Twins leave Sano at second base. Twins getting a run in the second, 1 in the third. With the Royals getting 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, and we're even up at 2. And on this most patriotic of weekends, we bring you God Bless America.
By Ron Gutierrez.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
With today's game, the Twins start the second half of the season. It's Santana's Twins debut. So far, so good. Just a couple of runs allowed in 6 innings.
They've done a great job. Pitch count outstanding. 63 pitches, 41 for strikes. 1 walk, and that ended up hurting him in the leadoff walk in the third when Infante ended up scoring with 5 strikeouts.
Kane swings and misses at the slider. As we said in the outset, this is an interesting game to watch. People have been waiting for this. They know more, none more so than Santana himself. Just missing 1 and 1. But the smart thing to do would be to step back and look at what he might be able to give this Twins team in the remaining 15-16 starts after today. It's a veteran pitcher, a proven winner with a fresh arm. You know, this isn't acquiring somebody midway through the season who's already got 100 innings.
I think what you're getting to is a guy that with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, not meaning in a bad way, but you know what? I'm sorry for what I did. There's nothing I can do about it, and now hopefully I can kind of go out and show the Twin fans what they were getting and what you're going to get. So, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes, and it was a big one for Ervin Santana. He learned from it, and you move on. And that's kind of the attitude that Paul Molitor and I think his teammates have taken with him. Of course, it's a disappointment, that he missed the first 80 ball games. But the rules are the rules.
2-2. Strike 3. A belt high fastball.
Kane does not like it, but it's strikeout number 6 for Santana. Tell you what, he did not pick up a strikeout in his first 3 innings. That's Ervin Santana. But as he picked it up, he made one mistake to Gordon that he hit right down that right field line for the home run. Other than that, 1 walk, and sorry to say that walk scored, but 6 strikeouts. He's allowed only 2 hits, and he's showing off that slider that we talked about in the open. Get ahead with the fastball, off-speed stuff, and then get rid of him with the slider.
Ball 1 to Hosmer. He's popped up to Dozier and hit a ground ball to Mauer. Drifting outside, 2-0.
Well, you look at Santana, they list him at 6'2". Now I have 185. The media guide has 175. So not a lot of heavy weight on him. He's got a great delivery. Nice whip on his arm.
Now let's remind everyone the gun here is hot.
It definitely hot.
Ervin Santana cannot throw a fastball 96 miles per hour. 93, 94 maybe. We had Tommy Malone here at 91, 92 the other night. Pounded foul. Talking with Ryan Presley this morning, and he said he noticed that he had a spike in velocity before he injured himself, and consistently. And I don't know whether it's done intentionally. I would hope not. But if they want to show Herrera throwing 100 miles per hour, which they have.
Yep.
Well, then maybe the gun needs to be adjusted upward to do that.
Well, I remember yesterday's ball game because I did it. But Perez, when Presley came in, he struck out Salvador Perez on a good fastball away. They had up there at 98 miles an hour.
Ryan can throw 95, but he can't throw 98.
Right.
2-2 to Hosmer. And now a full count. The only walk issued by Santana led to a run. It was a leadoff walk in the third. Morales will follow.
Pitch number 75 coming toward home plate.
And a walk will put Hosmer aboard. I don't know why it is, and I mean it as a compliment, but over the years, whether he was an Angel, a Mariner, unfortunately wasn't this case with the Twins. Now here in Kansas City, Morales is a much better hitter with men on base. He's up there with the bases loaded, and we saw it in the 5th inning. He led off the inning, and he struck out very quickly. But now there's a man on base, and he just seems to really bear down and be a better hitter. Have held him in check so far, just a couple of hits.
Let's see if Santana can get a ground ball right here. One double play turn behind him already. That came in the 3rd inning off the bat of Escobar.
There goes Hosmer, and the pitch grounded.
Well, yeah. If Hosmer doesn't take off right there, it may have been a double play, but instead Hosmer taking off, and he gets into scoring position. Maybe a little hit and run put on by Ned Yost, but the ball hit right to Brian Dozier at second.
Coming up on Saturday, the Tigers at Minnesota in a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1 beginning at 3 p.m. Central, then at 6. Baseball night in America as the Yankees take on the Red Sox. All this week on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox and Fox Sports 1. Gordon, who hit a home run. I don't know, it didn't look like the pitch was that bad of a pitch. Gordon just reached across the plate and got the barrel of the bat on it.
Yep.
Sent it right down the line, and he'll be intentionally walked here to get Infante to the plate.
Yeah, this is a right move right here. Gordon, even though he's been struggling at the plate, he's a left-handed hitter. Infante on deck, a right-handed hitter.
So Gordon will be intentionally passed, 1st and 2nd, 2 down for Infante. Now, Infante has been one of Kansas City's better hitters. The standard's pretty low. The Royals, like the Twins, struggling to score runs. But Infante in this series too has picked up some hits. He drew a walk leading off the 3rd and scored on the Butera single, and then he hit a fly ball to right.
Infante came into the ballgame just 1 hit in 9 at-bats against Irvin Santana. The walk, a fly ball to right.
On the outside corner. Swing, did he go? Strike 2, says Gary Cederstrom.
Good hard slider down and away. Fonte, a guy that hits to all fields. He's not a power hitter. He's a line drive type hitter if you leave the pitch up.
And reaches across the plate and gets a foul ball. Twins should know how to get him out. He's, of course, over the years gotten some big hits against the Twins, but most of his career has been spent in the American League Central. 2 stints with the Tigers, and now here with the Royals in his 2nd year with Kansas City. So whatever happens shouldn't come as a surprise to the Twins.
Wow. Great pitching.
7 innings for Irvin Santana in his Twins debut. 2 runs allowed, and we are tied at 2.
Let's do a little pitch by pitch with Santana against Infante. Strike one on the little breaking ball, and then Infante went too far, says Gary Cederstrom. The pitch that Infante fastball away, and then a perfect slider down and away. And you see the reaction of Kurt Suzuki back here. Watch him. Yes, fist pump. That's the way. That's exactly where I wanted that pitch.
All right, Aaron Hicks will try to get something started against Wade Davis, and he'll try to maybe get something started with a bunt single in front of Coleman at third base. And there's the bunt, foul.
Yeah, Davis has been almost unhittable. 36 relief appearance, only 16 hits allowed in 35 innings. 12 walks, 1 intentional, 39 strikeouts. Second great season for Davis out of that bullpen for the Royals.
We know Moustakas can make that play, and Coleman might be able to make it too. But Hicks was ready to try to drop down a bunt in front of him. Now he fists one off to right field, and coming in is Dyson. One away. One down in the 8th, and that'll bring up Dozier. We were kind of at this stage of the game Friday night, weren't we? And it got to this point, and the Royals went to the likes of Davis and Holland, and the Twins couldn't get anything done, and then finally pushed across a run in the 10th inning.
Yeah, there are not too many clubs that get anything done against that bullpen.
Here is Dozier. 1 hit in the series, did draw a walk in the 3rd inning today. A deep drive to left field. Gordon chasing it to the corner, and he won't get there. One hops the wall and over the head of Gordon, and Dozier with a rare extra base hit against Wade Davis. First extra base hit for Dozier in the series, and the go-ahead runs in scoring position.
Well, I jumped on that first fastball, and Gordon, who has tremendous baseball instincts out there, was playing him about even up in left field. Brian got that pitch in. We've seen Brian. You leave that pitch inside, he can do exactly that. Hit it down that left field line. Gordon can't catch up to it off the wall. It's an easy double for Brian Dozier.
And now Mauer, who got 4 hits yesterday, has 2 singles today. The hits yesterday were pulled to right field. The hits today went to left field. Inside, ball 1.
Davis with a good fastball, a slider, kind of like a cutter, curveball, changeup. Former starter, converted to a reliever here in Kansas City.
Side corner. 1-1.
I had a chance to talk to Ned Yost yesterday about Wade Davis, and he said, yeah, when we made the trade to get Davis and Shields from Tampa Bay, it was the intentions of Davis starting. He was going to be in that starting rotation. Then Davis struggled as a starter. He had heard from Tampa, hey, this guy's a pretty good reliever too. They put him in the bullpen, and he's been lights out.
Bauer chops it foul. And the count's 1-2. Our Carsoup.com trivia question, and the answer's got to be Rod Carew, isn't it?
I would think it would be.
Kirby Puckett.
Forgot about Puck. 47 of them. Mauer with 23. Tony Oliva, who I believe is in the house. He was last night with a group from Minnesota down here. There's Rod Carew at 42.
1-2 to Mauer. He's trying to regain the lead here in the 8th inning. Time called by the catcher, Butera.
Yeah, Davis almost in his windup, and Butera wanted to go over this pitch selection here. I was watching Davis. He was taking a little extra time before he got the sign, and then Drew Butera at the last second called time.
Paul Molitor making a point today talking about the Twins run productions, and you know, we don't have anybody in the 50s, but we got 4 guys, the front 4 guys in the batting order, all with 40 or more runs batted in. And now Mauer trying to pick up number 42. Struck him out on a breaking ball down and in. And that'll leave this 8th inning to Torrey Hunter.
Well, take a look at a pitch right here. It's that hard slider that Santana this afternoon's been able to pick up some strikeouts of the Royals. Davis gets Joe Mauer to swing over the top.
Frustrating game for Torrey Hunter. He has hit 3 ground balls to the left side. 2 of them turned into double plays, and he thought he might have had a hit, but Escobar picked it off in the hole and got a forced play at second. So Torrey looking to drive one to the outfield for the first time today. Down low with Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. Torrey leading the team with 45 runs batted in the first 81 games played of the year. Fouled back. 1-1. Month of May, the Twins were off the charts with 2-out hitting with men in scoring position. And then June came, and that clutch hitting, that component of a 20-win month in May, has disappeared. Twins would love to get one here from their elder statesman. A liner. Escobar. Torrey never left the batter's box. Dozier left at second. It's still 2 apiece. Out there to throw pitches in the 8th inning. 84 pitches thrown. He'll face Gerard Dyson to lead off the Kansas City 8th. And the first pitch, busted bat, one hopper, Dozier to Mauer, one away. The key guy to keep off the bases.
Big out right there.
And that'll bring up Butera. Butera with an RBI single in the 3rd, and he fouled out to Suzuki in the 6th.
Yeah, Royals have only 2 hits. The RBI single by Butera as he shows bunt and takes strike 1. And the home run by Gordon. That's it.
I think the pitch to Butera was more of a mistake than the one to Gordon. He just left a pitch down the middle of the plate. Drew punched it up the middle for a solid single. 1-1.
Yeah, remember that was an 0-2 pitch too. I think he wanted that slider down and away, and it just kind of hung in that strike zone.
Woo. 1-2. Each team carrying 13 pitchers, so each team with 3 bench players, and the Royals, of course, have already used one, inserting Coleman in for Moustakas. We still have not received word as to why Moustakas left the game. 1-2 to the Royals catcher.
Wow. Another good slider down and away.
Looks like it disappears to a right-handed batter.
Strikeout number 8. So get ahead in the count, then bury him with that good hard breaking ball down and away.
Escobar's 0 for 3. Started the game for Kansas City with a liner, and Aaron Hicks with an outstanding catch, diving catch in right center field. And Escobar hit into a double play and struck out in the 6th. Just off the outside corner. Twins will take this 15 more times from Santana, won't they?
Yes, they will.
And on a day when the Twins needed their starter to pitch deep into the ball game, here's Santana on the cusp of completing 8 innings.
You know, there's sometimes you go out there as a pitcher. He came out, I'm sure, with a lot of burning desire to want to pitch well. It doesn't always work that way, but he has pitched very well here today.
2-0 now to Escobar. On the ground, Dozier can't quite flag it down. It'll be a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Coleman.
Well, the shift was put on where Brian Dozier was more on the shortstop side of second base. And it looked like Santana deflected it a little bit, and that carried more toward second base area. So the third hit for the Royals. High fastball. See if Santana, I don't know if he got glove on it or not, but it ends up in center field. Comes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Coleman struck out swinging in his first major league at bat.
Yeah, Coleman started the season down in Double-A for the Royals, moved up to Triple-A, hit .303 in 69 ball games between Double-A and Triple-A.
An eye on Escobar. He has 5 steals and 7 tries. Remember when Hosmer reached with a 1-out walk, he took off on the first pitch because Santana pretty much ignored him. Now a quicker throw and a closer play at first.
Escobar 5 stolen bases in 7 attempts.
And it was one of Paul Molitor's points, whether it's sacrifice buntings, stealing bases. The game is changing, or has changed significantly from a few years ago. More and more games are like this. Low scoring, close games in the late innings. An extra 90 feet can make a world of difference. Now ball hit to left center field. And Rosario makes the catch and will head to the 9th, tied at 2.
everyone had to endure to see him make his debut for us. Adds to the excitement of the day. You know, we in a position to potentially win a series here on the road against a really good team, and just kind of a lot of things coming together that makes it exciting to watch him pitch today. So I'm sure he's ready. I'm sure he's going to be a little bit emotional about getting back in there in a big league uniform. But he's got enough experience where I don't think it'll be a factor in terms of negatively affecting him. So looking forward to seeing him pitch.
And that's exactly what I was saying, is that you have that emotion in there to want to do good. And Ervin Santana has done that exactly here this afternoon.
Trevor Plouffe goes after a first pitch fastball up and in and misses it.
Yeah, the closer Greg Holland in now, making his 24th relief appearance. He has 16 of the 25 saves out of that bullpen. Spent some time on a disabled list back in late April, early May.
Had a 1-2-3 ninth here on Friday, and then the Royals won it in the 10th. It'll be Plouffe, Sano, and Rosario. Twins have two relievers warming up. Glenn Perkins if they take the lead. Looks like Blaine Boyer's warming up if they don't. Fouled back. Plouffe ready for that fastball that sailed up and in, but still got in on top of him. 1-2.
Fastball, slider, changeup. Slider looks like a split finger. It's nasty.
Off the plate with a fastball. Twins have had two leadoff hits and a leadoff walk. When they've gotten the hits, they've scored their runs. Now 3-2. Plouffe started the second with a double on the first pitch. Sano hit the next pitch for a double. It was 1-0. Hicks hit a leadoff home run in the third, and then Sano drew a leadoff walk in the seventh.
Yeah, that was a good take right there by Trevor Plouffe.
Full count. To left field. Gordon over. Makes a sliding catch.
Trevor's probably wondering, what do I have to do to get a ball past this guy?
Second time today that Plouffe has had a bid for an extra base hit taken away.
Yeah, he robbed him of maybe an extra base hit to lead off the fourth inning, and here, leading off the top of the ninth, hits it again sharply to the left of Gordon. And Gordon diving for the second time, coming up with it.
A good at bat by Plouffe. Got something to hit and hit it hard, but for an out. And now here is Sano. Crushed a double off the center field fence. First pitch he saw in the second inning. Since then, a grounder to third and a walk. Ball one.
Sano has power. 105 minor league home runs in 5 minor league seasons. He can catch up to a Holland mistake, hopefully.
Through the hole to left. And it's his second hit of this game. And 6th hit in his 4 games here in Kansas City. And that'll bring up Rosario.
Well, fastball down. Stayed middle in. And Sano opening up and finding that hole in the left field. Twins pick up their 7th hit.
Rosario 0 for 1, struck out in the second, walked in the fourth, laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 7th. Sano's going to be lifted for a pinch runner, Danny Santana. Santana now at first. He's trying to give Ned Yost a little bit of his own medicine. Yost doing it regularly the last couple of years with Gerard Dyson. And so Santana aboard now with Rosario at the plate. There's a chopper, and Holland throws low, and Hosmer digs out the throw with that trapper glove at first base, a big scoop, but Santana advances to second.
That was a nice play by Greg Holland, because if he waits back on there and it bounces, he may not have been able to get the speedy Rosario. So when that ball hit off the plate, Holland came charging in and able to get it in the air. Watch Holland right here, reacts quickly. And then a quick throw. Hosmer makes a nice pick. But Santana does get in the scoring position, 2 outs.
And again, Twins looking for a 2-out hit to drive in a run in the late inning. Nunez hit a smash that may have taken Moustakas out of the game in the second inning, eventually leaving the game for Coleman. Swing and a miss.
And starts him off with that nasty slider. You mentioned that Nunez, good fastball hitter, and don't know if Holland will give him that fastball.
One strike. Chopper right side, hit right at Infante. And the Twins leave another runner in scoring position. And we head to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 2. Twins debut for Irvin Santana went very well. Yet we are here going to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 2.
I think he pitched great here today. Only gave up 3 hits. An RBI single to Butera, home run to Gordon, and a base hit to Escobar. That came in the 8th inning. 3 walks, 1 intentional with 8 strikeouts. He ended up throwing 93 pitches, 58 for strikes. Faced 29 batters, got strike 1 on 20 of the 29.
Blaine Boyer out of the Twins pen. And he'll face Lorenzo Cain. Hosmer scheduled next, then Morales.
Boyer making his 40th relief appearance, 3rd time he's worked in this 4-game series.
Cain takes outside, ball 1. Cain today 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Play 2-0.
Boyer in yesterday's ball game came in the 7th inning. He walked Cain, the first batter he faced, but then he was able to retire Hosmer to end the 7th inning. Relieved Aaron Thompson, who got a big double play ball in that 7th inning.
Missing down and away, 3-0. Royals took a leadoff walk in the third when Infante got a free pass from Santana, and that led to their first run. Three and one.
Yeah, control has not really been an issue for Blaine Boyer. Last night's walk only his 10th, but 4 intentional walks in 38 innings pitched.
3 and 1. And there's ball 4. And before Hosmer comes to the plate, time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Twins will spend the last week before the All-Star break at home, starting with 3 against the Orioles.
Well, Phil Hughes has been lights out over the last 4 or 5 starts, so be facing the Orioles. And Paul Molitor on his way out.
Hosmer, the cleanup batter. Twins have had Aaron Thompson warming up. Boyer will hand the ball to the manager after walking the only man he faces here in the 9th inning. Aaron Thompson will face Hosmer when we come back. Would have been left in to face Hosmer, but once Kane reached, Twins decided to go with Thompson for, among other reasons, hopefully do a better job of holding the runner at first.
Aaron Thompson making his 41st relief appearance. He worked in last night's ball game. Faced only one batter, Mike Moustakas, in the 7th inning. Got him to hit into a double play, and that's when Boyer came into the ball game. See if he can do that same thing with Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer does have one sacrifice bunt this year. We saw him bunt for a base hit in the opening game of this series. Taken for ball 1. Royals have just 3 hits. They've taken 4 walks. One of those an intentional walk.
Aaron with a fastball in the low 90s. Hard breaking ball, changeup. And Kane, the best base stealer for the Royals at first base. 16 stolen bases. Been caught only 3 times.
He and Dyson have a combined 25 of the 46 steals. Dyson in the starting lineup. Hopefully won't hit this inning. 1-0 to Hosmer. Swing and a miss. Hosmer tried to send everybody home.
Yeah, good hard breaking ball there, right there by Thompson. Good location. Hosmer's hit into 9 double plays.
1-1.
Job of a reliever, a left-handed reliever, to keep that runner close to first. Thompson, pretty good move.
Drilled to right. And that ball will get to the wall. Kane rounds second, on his way to third. Quick relay from Hunter. They're going to wave him around. Dozier's throw to the plate is off target. And the Royals win it in walk-off fashion for the second time in the series. For the second time in 3 games, the Royals a little bit better than the Twins.
Aaron Thompson just left the fastball up, maybe worrying too much about Kane, and Hosmer jumped on that fastball, ends up driving in the winning run.
Well, the Twins head home right where they were when this series started. 4 very competitive games, very close games, but the Royals and Twins end up splitting them. And so the Twins are 4.5 games back in the American League Central. Final score, Kansas City 3 and the Twins 2. Anthony LaPanta, the Twins will head home with a 4-6 road trip.
That was well executed. All right, let's cue us in, Matt. He'll be nice and cool. Very familiar face to Twins.